listening to Jai Long, and this is Make Your Break. Whether you're a big-hearted creative or an aspiring entrepreneur, let's take action on your dreams, reconnecting you with your why and giving you the how. I'm here to dish out actionable mindset tips and fun industry secrets to help you blow up your biz. From eye-opening reality checks to motivational gold, no two episodes are ever the same. So tune in weekly, skip the FOMO, and let's dive into the deep together. Hey, do you think you could optimize your website to convert more traffic into leads? Well, let's find out. Over the next little while, I'm going to give you 7 different things we can overhaul on our website to really take it to another level. Now, I want to just start off by saying not all websites need to be fixed, and not everyone's at the stage in their business when they need to work on their website. If you need to work on your website, likely you're getting a lot of traffic on your website, but it's not actually converting. You're not getting any leads. Maybe your website hasn't been updated for a long time, so it's running a little bit old school. Maybe you're not proud of it. You don't want to show everybody your website. You're not screaming it from the rooftops of how amazing it is. Look at the copy, look at the design, look how interactive it is. Look at this, look at that, look at the images, look at my portfolio, look at my blog. Then maybe it's time to overhaul it as well. Or simply, sometimes we're just looking for more things to do in our business and we just want to overwhelm ourselves. So we're like, fuck it. Let's just chuck that on as well. Work on our website. Wherever you are, this may help you. Now, I do want to say, it doesn't come down to a website for you to be successful. So often we mask ourselves with thinking that we need the perfect logo, the perfect branding, the perfect website, the perfect pitch, the perfect price guide, the perfect whatever it is, before we're going to be successful. Now, you know me, I'm all about making your break, and that's not the case. This stuff is all about optimizing and taking things to another level, but you having the perfect SEO blog, the perfect pitch on your website is probably not going to change the game for you until you're at the stage where you're optimizing, which is the stage of you're already getting work. You're getting out there, you're forcing yourself into the market, you're getting known, you're getting your stuff shared, you're becoming omnipresent, and now you're like, well, my marketing's on point, and now I need to make the sales, which is when my website comes into play. So today's episode is going to be about 7 different points that I want you to think about when you're overhauling your website. Now, before we get started, I do want to read out a listener's review, and I want to say a big thank you. We're right now sitting at 367 reviews, and my goal for this year is 1,000 reviews. So every time you leave a review, it brings us a little bit closer for me and the team to that goal, and it means the world to us. I love celebrating milestones, and we'll talk about that in a moment as well. So I want to read it. A good little 5-star review here. It says, a virtual friend with your best interests at heart. Jai, I so appreciate the time, effort, and love you put into your podcast. I'm a new listener, but I've been absorbing as much as possible. You have a really mellow way of delivering information, so it sounds like it's coming from a trusted friend. I'm following my passion, and your experience is truly helpful. The insight you share demystifies some of the obstacles we are all sure to stumble upon throughout the journey. Thank you again. And if you're ever visiting New Hampshire in the States, you've got a friend here. Much love, Dan, Quiet Glimpse Photography. Thank you, Dan. I'm also going to get in contact with you, and I'm going to give you away this month's free mentoring session. So well done. Thank you for leaving me a review. And if you guys want to get into the draw of a free 45-minute one-on-one mentoring session with me, just leave a review on the podcast. There's a link below in the comments of this episode, wherever you're listening. It really means the world to us, and it helps the podcast reach a new audience and get more known. So big thank you, and let's get into today's episode. Okay, let's talk about our website. I want to, just before we sort of get started, I want to really draw home the fact that an amazing website, a lot of the times people don't know why it's amazing. Now, I want you to think about Apple, for example. Apple is a gigantic company. They have a lot of money. They've got a lot of brains working on the things that they do. And if you get on their website, you wouldn't say it's overly designed and it's got crazy branding and it's got crazy different features and things like that. The thing you would say about it is it's just seamless, and I don't know why it's so good, but it feels good. And it's really easy to navigate around. It's really easy to use, right? So a good website is when someone obsesses over all the little details, so the user doesn't even know why it's so good. One thing they do know is they know why it's so bad all the time. So if your website loads slowly, people know straight away. If there's missing information, people know. If the images don't look good on it, people know. If the headline's not good, people know. If there's no call to action, people know. You get the point. But when it's just seamless, it feels amazing to go around a website where it just works, everything's there, and it's a journey to go through, right? Now, when I first started my business 16 years ago, my cafe actually, so that was my first business, it cost us a lot of money to have a shop for people to come in to experience. So we had a physical shop, a physical cafe, where we had to build a kitchen, we had to build a dining area, we had to build a counter, we had to have a spot for the coffee machine, we had to upkeep maintenance, we had to clean the place every single day. On Friday nights, I was in there from probably midnight to 3 a.m. scrubbing and cleaning before we could leave the cafe. Same as on Saturday nights and same as on Sunday nights. It was a lot of work and it cost a lot of money. There was a lot of risk in that business because of that reason. Now, as a creative entrepreneur, I no longer have to have a brick and mortar shop. I don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on having a way for people to interact with me. In fact, I have that, but it's online and it's called a website. Now, this may not be a new concept to you, but when I first started my photography business, I did spend about $10,000 on my website back then to get it really good branding and to get it custom coded the way that I wanted it to be. And the way that I seen that was I couldn't believe how cheap it is that I could launch a whole business and only spend $10,000 instead of $100,000, right? Now, for me, this is the main spot, the main piece of real estate on the internet for my business to shine, to thrive, and to best look after my clients, my customers, my fans, my subscribers, right? And so it was very important for me to customize a journey for people to get on my website and experience the business and the client experience that I've created for them. So I've obsessed over websites for a very long time. And back when I first launched my first website in 2013, trust me when I say it's not even that long ago, right? Websites were so bad back then. I couldn't believe it, especially in my niche, which was the wedding photography space. Like nobody cared about their website. They were just like, as long as there's a landing page and you got a portfolio, and the old motto was, you just build it and they will come. And I used to go to workshops back then and people would literally say that. You just build it and they will come. As long as you got a great image on your website, it's all you need, right? And it was so far from the truth that it blew my mind. And I was like, this is not, in any other niche, this is not the way. Now, wedding photography space has this weird thing where you get one educator or one person at the top and they share one concept, and it may be wrong, but it goes through the whole community like wildfire, and it takes 10 years for it to change. So I remember when I was getting this advice, and then I've seen everybody doing it, and then I remember we needed to change the game. And that's when Lilu launched her website templates, and that's when I've been educating in the six-figure business map. Like, there's a better way, guys. We can do something that we're proud of and that actually converts people. Now, a website has a few main functions. A website really is to solve people's problems. The best websites in the world, I want you to listen to this, the best websites in the world are the ones that solve problems. The worst websites are the ones that create problems. And we're going to talk about this. But the best websites in the world are the ones that solve problems. Does your website solve problems? The worst ones create problems. Now, this is a really important mindset shift to have. And as we're going through these 7 steps, it's really going to change the game for you. I want you to listen to this podcast episode a couple of times if you are working on your website, right? The next little mindset shift thing I want you to think about, this is average thinking. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I hear people saying that all the time. Now, if you're part of my community and you're making your break, this is not the way that you think. You're not average. You're out there. You're obsessed. You are relentless and you're ready to make things happen, which means you're at the stage where you're not just working for the sake of working, but you're innovating, you're creating, and you're making things better. And things can always be better. So what function does a website have in your funnel, in your sales funnel? Well, here's the main thing. we obsess as creatives. We obsess over marketing. For some reason, we just love it. We get on social media every day. We get on stories. We're talking. We're sharing polls. We're doing questions. We're sharing reels. We're dancing. We're creating behind the scenes content. Like, we love marketing. And then when it comes to sales, we hate it. We hate sales so much. And what happens when you hate something? Well, it just means you do a shitty job of it, because when we hate something, when we're disinterested, and then we don't take the time to work out why do we hate it and how can we strengthen that part of our business, right? So if I'm thinking about the journey, I am on my social media accounts right now, and I'm running Facebook ads, and I'm out there networking, and I'm doing all the things I need to do. And I push people to my website, and my website needs to make the sale. Now, what sale does your website need to make? Well, simply one sale. All it needs to do is it needs to sell people to send me an inquiry. That's it. It's not actually selling people on my services. It's not selling people on anything else, just to send me an inquiry. It's all I need, right? So my social media account, what does it need to sell? It just needs to sell people the fact that they've got to click on the link, which is going to my website. So that's all I need to do. If I'm running a Facebook ad, I'm just like, hey, click on the link, go to my website, check it out. And then once the ad's done that, the ad has done its purpose. It's fulfilled its purpose. It's finished, right? They're now on my website. My website's now got to sell the link, the call to action. So I'm like, hey, my name's Jai. I am a visual artist based in Bangalore, Australia. Like, click the link and let's have that free consultation, and I'll show you how I can work with you, right? So my call to action is just the one call to action, which is come and send me an inquiry. Let's jump on a call. Let's have a chat. Get in the chat box, whatever it is. And that's the whole purpose of it. So it's the sales part, right? Which is a big thing. Now, before we get started into the 7, I'm sorry, it's taking a little while, but I want to pre-frame everything. Here's a couple of things that's going to help you on your journey of overhauling your website. Number 1 is I want you to celebrate your milestones. So often we don't get in and we don't do things because we don't have that little endorphin hit and that little reward. So put some milestones in your calendar. It's going to help you, right? So as I go over these 7, maybe you could put 1 each into your calendar per week and overhaul them each week, and then have a little celebration at the end of every time that you overhaul one thing. And that's going to help you stay accountable, but also help you gamify the fact that you're overhauling your website and it's no longer a chore, right? So celebrate your milestones and put some key milestones into your calendar. I use Asana personally for my projects. There's tons of amazing project stuff out there, softwares and stuff like that. Google Calendar works just fine, but put those milestones in. Let's get to work. I want you guys to take some action. Okay, next one. Plan out your attack. Plan out how are you going to attack these 7 things and put that into your calendar. I want you to actually put time aside for the attack plan, because that's going to help you map out exactly what you're going to do on your website, how you're going to overhaul it, how are you going to optimize it and make it so much better. The next thing I want you to do, and the last one, is I want you to get out. This is so much easier on a whiteboard or a piece of paper, whatever it is, but I want you to map out the customer journey. And when I talk about customer journey, if you're in the 6-figure business map, I talk about this a lot in the client experience module. If you're not, this is what it's about. Get out a whiteboard, and I want you to map out every touch point your client has all the way to the very end of the job. So my one will be, they get on my Instagram account, and then they click over to the homepage of my website. From the homepage, they click onto the call to action. The call to action goes to my contact page. They fill out the contact form. Then that goes to the thank you page. And the thank you page, they can go back to my blog, or they can go somewhere else. And then from there, they get a first email. Then we have a meeting. Then they have a second email and a third email. Then there's a questionnaire and there's an invoice and so on and so forth. Now, this is really important because when you map out this client journey, you're going to see how people interact with everything. Now, one example is when I jump on someone's website, and when we need to solve people's problems, jump on someone's website. I do a lot of audits on websites, like literally hundreds of them per year, hundreds and hundreds. And the biggest thing is they'll say, hey, I'm a wedding photographer based in Chicago. And you scroll down and it says, follow me on Instagram. Has no information. Doesn't say where they are, what they do, when they do it, how they do it, has nothing. It usually says, hey, here's about me, and it's got a little picture. My name's Meg. Hi, I'm a photographer. And then at the end, the call to action is follow me on Instagram. and there's a big follow me on Instagram. Now, if you're looking at the client journey is I was on Instagram, I jumped on your website, and then I was confused because I don't know where you are, what you do, how you do it, when you do it. I have no idea. I've got more problems than I do solutions now. So it's a bad website, right? Then I scrolled down and then you just got me back onto Instagram. And so, of course, that person, Meg, this is a made up person, by the way, Meg, of course, she's not going to get inquiries because it's literally impossible, if not really hard, to get inquiries on that website, especially if you send them people back to the Instagram and then Instagram send them back to the website, and you can see the loop there, right? So understanding your customer journey, when you understand that, you will take your Instagram handle off the homepage of your website because it's not needed. You don't have a website because you want followers. You don't have a website because you want subscribers. You don't have a website because you want people to look at your blog or your portfolio. You want your website because you want people to pay you money. So literally have a call to action and say, hey, are you ready to pay me money yet? Click the link. I'm going to look after you from the first interaction all the way through. Let's make this happen. As soon as that deposit's paid, let's make this happen, right? So you need to take people's money. Otherwise, you don't have a business. And that's the most important things. The subscriber count, the follower count, I mean, that's cool for our ego, but it's not going to pay the bills. So let's have that clear call to action. Okay. Number one, let's get into it. Number one, I want you to overhaul your copy. So what is copy? I get this question a lot, especially when people join the business map and they're just not too familiar yet with these terms. But copy is the words that are crafted on your website. Copy sells. Copy evokes an emotion. Copy is your communication. Copy is the thing that's going to drive action, right? Copy, it's going to drive an action, right? So often we always think, especially photographers, they're like, yeah, so an image speaks more than words and I don't really know what to say, so I'm just going to say nothing. I've seen this so many times. In the last year, I think I've ordered 500 websites and I would say like 420 of them all had no words basically, except, hey, I'm a photographer, get in touch. And then their excuse was, I don't know what to say. And so if you don't know what to say, people don't know. I mean, imagine having a conversation with you at a party. If I would come and met you and then you said, hey, I don't know what to say, you can just look at me. It makes no sense, right? So if they're at the party, you've invited them to the party, which is your website, and now we need to drive the conversation. And so overhauling your copy, what does this mean? Well, the first thing is above the fold, on the top of your website, you need some sort of hook. There has to be a hook. If I just said Melbourne wedding photographer and nothing else, it's the same as saying Portland car sales. It's unattractive. It doesn't really evoke an emotion or an action or get me to scroll down further, right? So a hook is the thing that where it's like, oh my God, this is exactly me. Like you could say photographer for dreamy couples, wildly in love, getting married in Portland. Well, that's me actually. I'm getting married in Portland. I'm keen. And what are dreamy couples? I'm going to scroll down and see if I'm one of them. So now it opens the loop. So now someone's going to scroll through your website. So we need a big, good call to action. Does that make sense? So you can use, there's a lot of AI tools now to use copy. I use Pepperstorm, which are my guys. If you want to use professional copywriters, you can literally go over to jailong.co/Pepperstorm. I've got that down in the notes as well. They've worked with hundreds of my sailors and great results, but like use someone professional. It's kind of like, it's so naive to think that we can write everything ourselves. It's kind of like when someone says to you, if you're a photographer, for instance, and then someone says to you, yeah, I'm just going to take my own headshots. I've got an iPhone. I'm just going to take my own photos of my business. And you can see it's bad, right? The lighting's bad. You got some dark yellow images of the office or whatever it is. And so with copy, I see it all the time. It's like bad images. I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, like where is the call to action? What kind of copy is this? You know, where is the hook? So we want to overhaul our hook. What else do we want to do? Well, remember, on our website, everything is about our clients. It's not about us. So even in the about section, I read the about sections. I wish I could bring one up right now, but it always sounds like this. Hi, I am a photographer. I started in university. I love natural portraits. I am always available. I do travel. I do this. I am. And it's all about eyes and eyes and eyes and eyes and eyes. Now, when people are skim reading, they want to see you. They want to see us. They want to see we, right? Because if I'm skim reading, I want to read, I'm so selfish. I want to read about myself straight away. Before I know who you are, don't care yet. I want to know what you're going to do for me. How are you going to solve my problems? How are you going to fulfill my dreams? How are you going to make that happen for me? So instead of saying, I am a photographer and I love not posed photos, and I love natural candid shots, and I love this. The way that you could craft that is literally by saying, you are here because you're looking for unposed natural photos. Good. That's what I love as well. I'm going to make that happen for you, right? Can you see the difference? It's just so simple, but you're just changing it a tiny bit. Instead of the I's, you're going to the U's, right? Even when it's about you. For instance, you really want to tell people that you started photography in university. I started photography 10 years ago in university. That's cool, but the sentence is not compelling and I don't actually care at all, right? So you could instead say, you're getting a photographer that has 10 years of experience under their belt. Why do you care? Because I've been there and I've done it. Does that make sense? Now it's completely different. It's for them, not for you. I mean, it's cool that you want to brag that you started in university, but does it help our clients? It really doesn't. So something to think about there, overhauling our copy. What else in our copy? Well, with our copy, we want to make things as simple as possible. If we put too many fill words, too many fluff words, and we use too much lingo from an industry, people won't understand it anymore. Now, I see this often, especially for wedding photographers. And I say wedding photographers so many times because it's who I've been working for the last 10 years. It's coaching and stuff. But even the coolest person, even someone that this is not their branding at all, they start using these crazy fluff words that turns me off. And it's like, what's a good example? So you're looking for some whimsical, beautiful pieces that are going to last a lifetime, and it's an investment. It's not a price. It's this and it's that. And I read it and I'm like, man, just get to the point. Tell me that I'm going to love the photos. Just overpromise it to me. I hate the fluff. You can add a little bit of fluff in there, but you don't want to fill in fluff for the sake of filling in fluff. It doesn't make anyone fall in love with what you're doing. In fact, it probably turns people away. So be true to your own voice. If you were going to talk to someone at a party and someone said, what do you do? And I said, hey, I'm a wedding photographer and I'm a fucking good one. If you want to work with me, send me an inquiry. There's 3 steps. Step 1, hit the link. Step 2, fill out the form. Step 3, sit back, relax, have a beer and wait for my first email, right? It's probably how I'm going to talk. So why don't we do that on our website? Why do we turn into someone completely different that's 50 years old, that doesn't know how to use the keyboard and writes a lot of fluff from other photographers, cut, paste, change it a slightly little bit so we all fit in? It doesn't make any sense, right? We don't want to do that. We don't want to be that out of touch. Now, other things with copy, make things really simple, really easy, and set expectations. This one's a big one that literally is going to change the game for you that nobody does. And I can guarantee you, last 12 months, I've ordered at least 500 websites, and 99% of websites before I ordered them don't set expectations. Can you believe that? They don't set expectations. They don't solve a problem. They do not tell people what to do. They do not do it. And it blows my mind. Okay. So what's an expectation? Well, expectation is 1, telling people what to do, and 2, letting them know how long they got to wait or what they have to do or how long something takes or whatever it is, right? So an example is this. You got a call to action at the end. Instead of saying follow me on, check out my portfolio, have a read of my blog, follow me on Instagram, check it, subscribe to my newsletter, and having all this stuff. Now it's just confusing. There's too many call to actions. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Instead, it should say this. Are you ready for the next step? Okay, follow these 3 steps and then we can potentially work together. Step 1, write me a message in the chat box down below. Step 2, wait for me to reply. Step 3, book in your free consultation. It's that easy. Yes, it's that easy, right? And then someone will do that. What's the next thing you do? You get on the contact page. It should say, Step 1, fill out this form. It's going to take you 1 minute. Step 2, sit back, relax, and wait for your first email. It's going to take around 24 hours to hit your inbox. Step 3, I'm going to send you my price guide, a link to book in a free consultation, and from there, I am going to do a lot of the heavy lifting so you can take the stress off your plate. I mean, how easy is that? And now I know exactly what's going to happen when I get on that person's website. I know there's only 3 easy steps and I'm following them completely. I know that I'm sending the inquiry and it's working. I know I need to fill out that contact form. I know I need to wait around 24 hours. That makes sense now. I'm not waiting for this photographer to get back to me within 1 hour. Like I know now. And guess what? It means they can stop looking for a photographer, because if you don't have these things, what they do is, I sent an inquiry, but it didn't scratch my itch. I don't know if they're going to get back to me. In fact, it's been 20 minutes. Why haven't they got back to me? It makes no sense. So then they keep looking for more people, because your website doesn't solve problems. It creates problems. Now I'm anxious. Are they going to get back to me? I'm anxious. How long does it take? I'm anxious, right? Are they even available? I'm anxious. What's the next step? I'm anxious. Are they going to ring me, or are they going to text me, or are they going to email me, or what are they going to do? I'm anxious, right? Because I got more problems now than I did before I got on your website. So overhauling your copy. Honestly, the best money you'll ever spend. If you're spending time on all your marketing, you're putting some money on Facebook ads and you're doing all this stuff, and you don't take your website copy seriously, and you're not driving people to a reaction and to take action, man, that's the hole in your funnel. And that's the lowest hanging fruit. That's where we can fix it. Okay, number 2, we need to overhaul your images. Now, so often, like I think photographers, we forget. I'm going to talk about photographers and I'm going to talk about everybody else. Photographers, we have so many images to choose from. Not all the time do we have the perfect images that we want to represent the clients we're trying to attract. And because of that reason, why not go out there and do some style shoots and create images that you want? Even if it costs you money, even if you got to pay for some models, even if you have to do whatever, like why not, right? That's what I've always done. All the images that I use on my homepage and my website, they're styled shoots, and it attracts people just like them that I want to shoot with. Now, if you're not a photographer, maybe you're a videographer, maybe you're a musician, something like that. There are so many photographers that will work with you if you do the heavy lifting and create a shoot, because everyone's looking for content these days and everyone wants to leverage off each other's audiences. Everyone wants to work together, so we want to collaborate in this industry. So it's really important for you to think about, and even if you pay for a shoot, you pay for a brand shoot for yourself, super important. Like I want to see some amazing photos of you, especially photographers, so like so many photographers, you see this crappy photo that's shot on an iPhone of someone standing there with a camera in front of their face, which gives me anxiety as a viewer because I hate being in front of the camera, but all of a sudden there's a photo of you holding a camera in front of your face and I knew it. I'm scared, right? So put time into thinking about every single image on your website. And here is a little tip, guys. This one's going to blow your mind. It's about quality, not quantity. I remember I used to have like 200 weddings on my website and just photos everywhere, because I thought if everyone just seen that I had more than less, right? I had more, then I'd get busier. But it wasn't the case. All I did was I diluted my best work. You are only as good as the shittest photo on your website. So if you're a photographer, unfortunately, I'm going to find that shit photo and then that's where I'm going to judge you, especially if I'm a client. If you're out there and you're a musician and you got some shit photos on there, you're only as good as that. I'm going to go, well, this person's not even professional. They don't even have good images. They don't even believe in their brand enough, So that's what I'm going to think straight away. So if that's the case, then isn't it better to have quality over quantity? I mentored this one girl last year, and she had about 24 weddings on her website. And most of them that weren't what she wanted to shoot. They were very like church, dark weddings. And she had one that was in Moab, and it was beautiful. And just off this one image, in fact, I was like, man, people would book you. This is amazing. So she actually deleted the 23 other weddings of her website and just had one. And then a portfolio on the main header, she used to have this carousel of just every image, and then she just changed it to the one. And her conversion rate and booking rate went up about 500%, literally because of that one change. And I was like, because people will fall in love with your first photo, then they'll dig around and they go, oh my God, it's not what I thought, right? Because we're trying to sell the dream. We want people to fall in love and imagine them. And I don't want to imagine myself in the shittiest photo at the back of your website with cobwebs all over it where no one wants to see it. We don't want that. So overhaul your images. Have a look at them. Do they evoke the right emotion? Are they attracting the right people? Do they represent your brand in the best way? I want you to ask those questions. Number 3, we've got to add videos. Unfortunately, I've been fighting with everyone for so long for this, like years. Inside, if you've been a sailor inside the six-figure business map since 2019, 2020, I've been harping on about this at every group coaching call, and for some reason, I still have to push this point home, and I feel like a broken record at this stage because everyone that's added videos, honestly, they fucking convert so much better, and I'll tell you why. If you're the type of person that says, man, no one ever books me until I get on a call. And when I get on a call or a Zoom call or have a meeting with them, then they always book. And I can tell you why. It's because your website's bad. It's because there's no trust, there's no urgency, there's no desire. I'm 100%, I can tell you that right now. I know what the problem is. Now, if you actually book people when you're face-to-face with them, guess what? It's because you're creating trust, desire, and people feel like they know you. And we can put this on autopilot. You don't have to meet with everybody. You can just put up videos. When someone's meeting with me, I already know they're going to book me. And the only reason why they're meeting me is because they're trying to judge my character. They want to make sure I'm not a creep around their friends and family. They want to see if they're vibing with me. Now, if I got a video on my website, it's just an iPhone video, me talking to the phone. Hey guys, welcome to my website. Have a look around. I've got a blog. I've got a portfolio. And when you're ready to get in touch, there's 3 easy steps down below. Scroll down, read those steps. I'm going to look after you from the very first contact all the way through. My name's Jai Long. Can't wait to hear from you. It's all you need to say, right? On an iPhone. Now, when someone sees that, they're like, oh, so that's the way Jai holds himself. That's his body language. That's the way he talks. That's his accent. And now I feel like I know Jai, right? Even though I've never met Jai, I feel like I know Jai. One example is even you listening to this podcast episode. You might be in the middle of the US right now and you're like, Jai, I've never met you before, but I feel like I know you. Exactly. We can put trust and desire on autopilot. It doesn't have to be a one-on-one meeting, and that's a limiting belief. Now, the more web videos you have on your website, the better. If you got one on your homepage, instead of having the about and you're writing about and then next to you is just a photo, like why not have a little mock-up of a phone and just have a phone video on there, like a little portrait video? Why not? You should have one on your information page, like your sales pages. If you're a wedding photographer, if you're a musician, if you're a designer, like why not have one on there? Explain your services. On your contact page, why not have a little 30-second video and explain what people need to? Hey, this is what I would say. Here's the script. Hey, thank you. I'm so glad you're here on the contact page and you're taking things to another level. All you need to do, fill out this form. It's going to take you about 30 seconds. From there, you got to wait about 3 hours. I get in touch with you in about 3 hours. That's how long it takes me. I'm going to look after you from this email. I'm going to make sure we don't lose it. I'm going to look after you all the way through. But make sure you leave your phone number as well. And if you do want me to give you a call, just let me know in the thing. If you don't want me to call you, just let me know, okay? I will see you soon. That's all you need to say. I mean, that's amazing. Now I'm like, oh man, this person really looks after me. Everything's thought of. You don't have to need to do anything fancy. And here's the kicker. If you use iPhone videos, it converts so much more than a professional camera video, professionally produced video. It really does, because now I connect with you. I consume most of the internet on my phone on social media. I look at TikTok. I look at Instagram. I look at Pinterest. I look at YouTube. I look at these things, right? And I'm used to seeing phone videos of my friends FaceTiming me, people talking to me on a Zoom call, seeing my friends' Insta stories. Now, when I get on your website, if I see a phone video like that, it's like, oh my God, I'm home again. This person's a friend. It creates desire. I feel like I know you. And it takes our relationship to another level. And I don't even need to meet you. And now I'm ready to actually book with you, right? So if you're a sailor and you're listening to this, you know that I've been harping on about this for 3 years and you still haven't taken action on that one. You better go and do it, right? Please do it. If you're not a sailor and you're just out there in the world and you're just like, I'm a creative entrepreneur, should I do it? Please do it. Seriously, just test it out. Like, why not give yourself the best possible chance? And I know that you might be scared of doing a little phone video, but you do it all the time on social media anyway. So just do it as if it's on social media and then just upload that onto YouTube maybe as a short and embed that on your website. Why not? Okay, number 4, we can make our website interactive. One way to do that is have a chat box. I personally use Driftbot, so it's driftbot.com. And you can prompt that thing. So when someone's on your website, after about 10 seconds, you can actually make it ask them something like, hey, are you looking for my prices? And it will pop up. Now, I believe gone are the days when people should have to fill out a long contact form There's so many wrong contact forms too, and questions that are irrelevant they shouldn't be asking, especially questions around like, what's your budget? If you're asking that, you're pushing people away. You're making it so hard and uncomfortable for people to book you because you're confronting them and asking them about their money. Please don't do that. It's literally the wrong thing to do, right? It's not what we do in any sales. We never ask for budgets. It doesn't matter what their budget is. It just matters of how much you charge. Now, I believe so many people do things wrong by they're saying like, don't send me a DM, only email. I believe you should make it as easy as possible for people to get in touch with you on whatever platform, whatever channel. I literally say to people all the time, like, fucking get in touch. Send me a DM, send me an email, send me a Facebook message, send me like whatever it is. Get in touch. Let's talk. Give me a call. Give me a text message, right? Because I'm obsessed and I don't want to push away any clients. I'm making it easy for them and not creating more problems. They're like, Jai, I don't use Zoom. Good. What do you use? I use Google Hangout. Can we talk on that? Of course we can. However you want to do it, let's make it happen. I'll learn a new platform. I'll make this easy for you. So I have a chat box and I allow people to get in touch straight away. In the chat box, you can literally have preloaded questions like looking for my price guide, click here. And then you can literally give them your price guide on the homepage of your website. Why not? Why keep it a secret? Why are you gatekeeping your prices? Who fucking cares if your competitors see it? Like, show them your prices. Like, hey, check out my price guide. Check this out. This is how much I charge, right? Have your calendar on there. Have a little question on there. Like, would you like to book in your free consultation? Click the link. Book into my calendar right now. You don't need to do anything else. You don't even need to send me an email. You've already seen the video of me. You know how I act. You know how I talk. Now you can just book straight into my calendar. Like, why not? Why add an extra step? In 2023, I believe the less steps, the better. If someone wants to just book you in without having a meeting, good. If someone just wants to get your prices and they just say, hey, Jai, what's your prices? Good. Send them your prices, right? Make it easy for people. Here's a little tip. If you make your contact form too long, you're going to push away people that have money. If you make it short, you're going to attract people that have money. Because why? Because people that have a lot of time don't have money, and people that have no time have money, right? So often my best clients are the ones that just write me an email and say, Jai, love your work. Can you send me prices, please? I'm like, yes. This is my type of client. I know they've got no time, and I'll respond to them like, I know you got no time. Good. I'm going to look after you. Here's my prices. I've already booked you in for a meeting, actually. Like, I can make all this happen for you. You don't need to do anything. I know you're busy. They're my clients that just pay without even questioning. Now, the ones that question are the ones that write me the long-winded thing. Like, me and Jared met 5 years ago and we fell in love and we did this and we did that and we want this. And in a photographer, we're looking for this and we're looking for that. And at this wedding, it's going to be completely different to everybody else and this and that and this. And I'm like, man, okay. And then we got a Pinterest board for you. And I'm really thinking about this location. I'm really thinking about we should go over there. And I'm thinking this. I'm like, okay, for me, that's red flag. I'm like, this person's got too much time on their hands. They got no money. They can't afford me, straight up. So what we want to do is we want to attract the people that value their time and give them what they want as fast as possible. That's the best way to make sales. Fast as possible. Personally, I don't let a inquiry get in my inbox and just sit there for more than 15 minutes. If I'm busy and I'm shooting a wedding, or if I'm out doing a podcast or a coaching call, or if I'm doing something, I literally jump on and text them and say, hey, Sarah, thanks for the inquiry. I just got it. Just want to let you know I'm going to get back to you tomorrow. I just got your inquiry. I'm busy right now. I'm shooting a wedding. I want to send you a text and just let you know I got you. Can't wait to meet you, right? Easy. I'm fast. I'm straight on it. I don't let people slip through. If I've made the sale, my website worked, and someone sent me an inquiry, man, you bet that I'm on there making sure that I'm looking after them from the very start. And I also can bet the other 5 photographers that they got in touch with don't do that. I win the game. Okay, number 5, become the expert. How do we do that? Well, your website should position yourself as the expert. And how do we do that? Well, we create content to best serve our clients. One of the reasons why I always harp on about having a really good blog, one is because you can give news updates of what you're up to, who you've been working with, what direction your business is going in. Like, you can do all that, but also you can give tips and tricks. You can have guides. You can have resources on the blog to help your clients. Now, if someone got in touch with me and they got in touch with a whole bunch of other people, after they send their inquiry form, I actually redirect them to my blog and I'm like, hey, I've got you. I've been writing out lots of blog posts and things like that, and I'm going to look after you from all the way from the start to the end. No one else does that, right? So now you're really looking after them. The blog posts, I'm the expert in my space. I make sure I've got YouTube videos, I've got audio, I've got photos, I've got video, I've got GIFs, I've got examples, I've got listicles, I've got an index, like whatever it has to be for you to be the expert in your space. Look after your clients on that next level, and it's going to help you because SEO is going to supercharge your website with more traffic as well. So why not? I always believe become the expert in your space, because when your client gets in touch with you and 5 other people, if you are showing up for your business like that and they see all the hard work you've been putting in and you've actually solved a lot of their problems and questions by creating blog posts around frequently asked questions that people always come to you with, in fact, when they even have a meeting with you, they're like, Jai, I've got no questions. You've literally solved everything for me. Then you know you're doing something right. So if you don't have a blog yet, please do it. It's worth it. And this day and age, when you can outsource to people like Pepperstorm, like I told you before, you can use AI. There's so many different ways you can do it to make it so fast that you have no excuses now. Okay, so the next one is we want to optimize our website. So we've gone through, we've overhauled our copy. Number 2, we overhauled our images. Number 3, we added videos in there. Number 4, we've made it interactive and really easy for people to get in touch with. Number 5, we became the expert. And number 6, we're going to optimize. Is our website fast now with all the new images and the videos and the GIFs and stuff we've added and all the things we've added, all the extra copy? So we want to make sure it's fast. We want to make sure that it's optimized for SEO. We want to make sure it's user-friendly, the UX, like it's easy to navigate around. There's no broken links anywhere. We want to make sure that all our old blog posts are being updated, refreshed, making sure all the links work, all the images are updated, all the videos are updated, nothing's outdated. You want to make sure that you got a banner at the top maybe that says like, only shoot 30 weddings per year if you're a wedding photographer, only 11 more to go until I'm booked out. Like you want to make sure everything's updated, fresh, so people can tell, Google can tell, and things just work fast. So get a friend to use it maybe and just see, like ask them, like, is there anything I need to be optimized? Any spelling mistakes? Any images not loading properly? Did anything take a long time? Like make sure it just works fast and seamless. And then number 7, now we want to go through and design, just overhaul our design. So notice I had this one last because the first one is copy. You're going to make sure that copy is just killer, right? It doesn't matter about the design at that stage. Then we want to make sure we're putting in the best images possible that represent our brand, that are going to attract the right people, evoke an emotion. We're going to add videos to create desire and trust, like massive amounts of desire and trust. We're going to become the expert. We're going to overserve our clients to a whole nother level. We're like, fuck it. We're relentless. I'm going another level. I'm overserving my clients, right? I'm overpromising. I'm delivering on the overpromise. Number 6, we're going to optimize the thing so we know that our clients are having the best possible experience when they get on here. Like I said before, so many people say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I say, fix it. Always innovate, right? You can always be creating something. Number 7, design. How is it when people go over your website? Like, how does it look? Is the fonts easy to read? Is there enough space around everything? Does your logo look nice and appealing? Is everything consistent? Is it the same colors all the way through? The same feeling all the way through? Do your images work with it? Does your videos work with it? Are your videos integrated nicely so they don't look random sitting on there? Your call to action buttons, are they a nice color? Do they move? Is there any animations? Is there any GIFs? Is there anything to interact with? Does it look good on mobile? Does it look good on desktop? Does it look good when it's stretched out big? So I want you to think about all those things, because just like Apple's website, like a lot of the times we can't even tell why it's so good, but it's so fucking good, right? And so we need to be thinking the same thing. It doesn't need to be overly designed, but it needs to be so well thought out that I'm like, I can see why I'm paying these people a lot of money. This makes sense. I feel good about this. I don't even know why I feel good about using this person's services, but I feel good about it. Whether you're a designer, whether you're a pottery maker, whatever niche you're in right now, whether you're a videographer, you can always elevate that experience. And when I did this a long time ago, because my website is still the one that I created. I've got so many websites now, but my wedding photography website was one I created a long, long time ago, but it's still the same one. Because back then I over-engineered it. I wanted it to work for years to come. I didn't want it to go out of fashion. I wasn't following trends. So make sure that it makes your clients feel good when they get on your website and they trust you. Okay, one last one, just a little bonus before we get out of here. I want to see more trust on your websites. And one thing that's really been pushing me over the line these days is reviews, case studies, testimonials. Man, these change the game. So there's a study that's been done where if you have 1 to 3 case studies or testimonials or reviews, it really does push up your conversion rate from 3 to 20. I think it might have been 15, but I think it's 20. It makes no difference. And then 20 plus, it makes a giant difference. Now, there's so many reasons why, but one of the reasons why is because people are looking for themselves in the reviews and they want to see that it's an authentic review from someone for real. So how do you do that? Well, video testimonials is a fantastic one. That's what if you go and have a look at my website, sixfigurebusinessmap.com/review, you're going to see video testimonials. You're going to see screenshots. You can have screenshots from your DMs, from your clients. You can have case studies. Go and pay a videographer to do a case study on one of your clients. Like, why not? Showcase your clients. It's all about them, remember, not about you. So if you had some case studies from your past clients on each one of your products, from them doing an engagement shoot, from them ordering an album, from them, whatever it is that you do, from them like buying a website off you, from them doing blah, 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 it's going to change the fucking game for you. So create tremendous amounts of trust. And if you've got literally 20, 30, 40 reviews on there, 50 reviews, 100 reviews, you've got a whole page dedicated to reviews and testimonials. This day and age, it honestly works. Because when I see that, I know that I'm like, oh my God, like 50 people couldn't be lying about this business. They just couldn't be, right? So I want you to supercharge that. I want you to have reviews on your price guide. I want you to have views on your contact page. You got to have a review on your contact page. You better have one. I want you to have a case study on your thank you page after they send an inquiry. Like, why don't you have that? So these are all things that you can create, and it's going to take your website to a whole new level. And don't forget, don't overcomplicate anything. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't think you need to do this all at once. If we circle back to the start, remember, celebrate your milestones. Maybe a milestone is to have 1 review. Celebrate that shit. Plan out your attack plan. Plan this out so you actually take action. You don't just listen to this podcast episode and then you let it die. Map out that customer journey. Map it out so you know exactly where people are and how they go through your whole business. If you want to strengthen your client experience, you can't actually do it without mapping out your client journey. It's impossible because you're just working on things that you don't even know. Like, you're probably just working out on a gift pack or something. Gift pack means shit if your website experience was horrible and then they've even worked with you because they never sent you an inquiry, right? It doesn't make any sense. So again, I hope today's episode helped you. If it did and you want to share the love to some other entrepreneurs, please, you can share this podcast episode, maybe screenshot it, share it on Instagram and tag me so I can reshare it at jailong.co. I really appreciate you listening in. I really appreciate your thoughts. If you got any extra tips and tricks that you want to share with me, do it in my DMs on Instagram at jailong.co. And again, if you want a one-on-one mentoring session, you want me to look over your website one-on-one and get my eyes on there and see how I can fix it, just leave me a review on this podcast and you're in the chance to win an actual coaching call with me, a one-on-one coaching call with me. So that's it. You've been listening to Jai Long, and I'm going to see you next time.
Hey, Make Your Breakers. Want to streamline your audible dose of inspiration, motivation, and creative biz insights with a custom playlist made just for you? Was that a yes, please? Kicking our arses into gear, sifting through all of Make Your Breaks episodes to date. Yep, we're talking all 200 plus episodes. We've meticulously curated some banging playlists just for you. We want to help you to make that break ASAP. So whether you're a newbie or have listened to every episode a million times, jump into the show notes and check out the little something we whipped up to generate your very own custom playlist.